a reflection of style and lifestyle, a showcase home. Yearly, selected homeowners give up their homes to the talents, skills, and imaginative intuitions of professional interior designers. The owners move out and the tradesmen move in. The houses are redone from top to bottom. They are transformed into showcase homes and open for public viewing to earn money for worthy causes. Thus, charities benefit from creative freedom. Today we go to Pasadena, California, and this stately example of the architecture of Paul Williams. Come with us and visit a generation of gracious elegance in this splendid example of Gothic Renaissance. Paul Williams was the first African-American architect to be awarded membership in the American Institute of Architects. He was commissioned in 1929 by Jack Atkin, a breeder and owner of thoroughbred racing horses, to build this distinctive residence. The Williams design of exterior brick, thought to be imported from England, and the distinctive slate roof has served its floor owners well over the years. The property has appeared in many Hollywood movies, including the original Topper and the Bells of St. Mary's. The opulent use of oak, marble, English heraldry, and leaded glass enhance the original Williams design. Today's showcase home benefits the many efforts of the Pasadena Junior Philharmonic Committee. Our journey into the splendor of the monumental scale of this grand manor house, in the style of English Tudor, begins with a cascade of water, color, and fragrance.
The fountain leads your eyes straight to the home, and the color goes from concentrated warmth at the base of the fountain and becomes lighter as you go up to the top. It's primarily monochromatic in the sense to give it an elegance that fits with the house. The reason I went with the moon garden is because I feel that a fountain should be an area of almost refuge and quiet peacefulness. I chose a lot of whites because I wanted the moonlight effect, and when the moon's out, the white colors turn violets and they illuminate it themselves. Coming in, our focal point is where the water cascades down. From the top is the actual pond.
Gary Sewell complemented a vertical space with a technique mirroring the original craftsman.
These pots were handmade with a washed finish to give the same effect as the existing cement and complement the existing corbels and balusters and steps. Basically what you see is existing structures and elements that have been softened with vertical landscaping. I've used mirrors and water and textures to create this effect. You have Italian cypresses in different annual colors and some blue fescue. I've kept it real simple.
We leveled the ground somewhat for people to enjoy comfort as well as beauty. And the orchids are placed in baskets and clusters all around the furniture and an arrangement in the middle of the table to make it look very hospitable. Cymbidium bloom will hold about 2 months. And the Phalaenopsis I can say the same for.
This area is almost completely full sun. That kind of dictates what we plant. I think probably the most common mistake is people putting the wrong, either putting sun plants in a shade area or vice versa. The stars of the area are miniature roses, delphinium and foxglove, which are the tall plants with the bell-like flowers. I lived in England for a time in the 70s, and that was my inspiration for this garden.
I like to start with architecture, because obviously the architect was making a point. The focal point of the motor court is the fountain. Although there's a very narrow planting space, only 15 inches, we've managed to put in a considerable amount of material. Star jasmine, white azaleas, violets. We found that the Paul Williams architecture demands a calm garden, and therefore we selected only white and silver and shades of green to reflect the stateliness of the home.
It's a pooling spot. I think that's why there's so many benches. People could possibly repose the garden areas and look out on the stately entrance.
Tudor, The popular name for the style may be somewhat historically inaccurate, since relatively few examples accurately copy the architectural characteristics of 16th century England. Instead, the style is casually based on a variety of medieval English examples. But what's in a name if it looks like this?
The entry actually is 60 by 15 feet, and a wonderful entry for any home. And this entire wall is all trompe-l'oeil, created in the same feeling as the masters. The stairwell has this feeling of grandeur. The upstairs floors have been refinished and refurbished. And look at that ceiling, it's all gold. And again, done in an old world finish. The seating area has been custom designed. The fabric on there is French silk. It's nothing new that we've come up with here. This is really a very old world type of treatment. And the artists that I'm working with are recreating something that was done many years ago. The house is dark, and to keep everything in its natural state with the dark wood ceilings, it was my impression not to try and lighten it up, but just to add some real excitement to the walls.
The leaf form can be seen throughout the house, so we decided to use that leaf form in the bathroom, putting the wainscoting all the way around the room. It has this one line, a small pattern. The repeated pattern of the brick-shaped tile helped to increase that space. The translucency of the tile, of the glaze on the tile, gave a reflective quality, which increases the space.
It's a 4x6 ceramic molding. We've taken the rosette and added some scrolling leaves to it. The green came from, well, we're dictated by certain colors. Showcase will say, this is the color palette we're using this year, and we have to work within those parameters. The floor consists of tumbled marble. Basically, it's a distressed marble. They've thrown it in a tumbler, put acid on it, and just tumbled the heck out of it.
Designer John Wooden brought his vision to a small upstairs room that has become one of Showcase Home's most unique spaces.
The existing ceiling line of the room was kind of asymmetrical, so we tinted the ceiling in a shallow pyramid shape to really give it the feeling that you're inside of a circus tent. I would say it's practical from the standpoint that it's a secondary room, so I don't think practicality is the main function of the space. The Duchess wing chair that's in the corner of the room is covered in a Fortuny fabric. I hand-dyed. Most of the pieces in the room are reproductions that were inspired by antique pieces. And the style leans towards the deco. The chairs that flank the table are referred to as Betty chairs, and they lean to a little bit more contemporary look, drawing influences from the Art Deco period.
I'm doing a children's playroom that will be geared toward a child of 10 to 12, preteen. It's a very nice space architecturally, and tried to make it have a lot of functions for children. A reading area, a television area with their games, a computer center, a game table. The furnishings are simple and they're comfortable. The chairs are not too large, but they're small scale adults, so it's comfortable for a child. There is one motif on the floors and also on the windows throughout the space.
The woman that lives in this room is a girl who has completed her college education. As you enter that room, you will see the architectural detail of the bay window. That was a great plus. I wanted to design this room to have a feeling of richer fabrics and colors, but still not be too sober looking. So I selected blue for the color of the walls. This big white, I call it the marshmallow bed. It's all done in white. It has a feather bed underneath and a duvet on top of it. It is the focal point of the room. The mirror treatment above the bed was placed there to create a focal point, again, reflecting the armoire on the opposite side.
Adjoining the young woman's bedroom is a private dressing room that also required the designing talents of Kathleen Formanek.
The walls are done in a pale pineapple silk wall covering that is very soft and easy to live with. At the top of the walls you see a crown molding out of a polymer fabric. An artist did a rendering of different colors to coordinate with the ottoman fabric and gold leafing. I went on from there and mirrored the top of the ceiling to give not only sparkle but definition to the room.
We decided to create an innovative bath of the 90s. We've totally renovated the entire area by removing all the existing electrical plumbing and the wall in between the two bathrooms. We've created a colonnade of some faux limestone columns to section off a bathing space, a shower space, toilet and bidet, and then an exercise audio-video area, as well as creating a double sink as you walk in, French doors. The faux limestone finishes that we have in the room, we wanted to integrate the architecture of the rest of the house. There's actually two focal points. Interesting hand-painted oriental cranes that are about 6 feet tall over the tub area, and the state-of-the-art audio equipment and exercise room. And since this bathroom has a little bit more of a contemporary touch, we thought the architectural elements should be pretty traditional in keeping with the house.
The concept behind the design for this room was to create an environment that would have all of the essentials of a very calm and serene place for the master, for the adults in the home to retreat to. Our concept was to create a rather restrained and spare design by doing overscaled, larger pieces, but less of them. The master bed is sitting on a large seagrass area rug bound in a natural canvas in a very neutral tone. We have overscaled club chairs. The table in front of the bed is a small coffee table. There's a Japanese armoire done in an eggplant or an aubergine finish. And we have another sitting area. This is a lounging area with an overscaled linen sofa and a draped table with a vintage Art Deco area rug draped on top of it.
The hallway was a task because of the curvature of the ceiling and the fact that one area is over 30 feet long. I feel that good design starts with simplicity. Simplicity, whether it's in the contemporary feel or if it's in the traditional. No matter what the style is, if you have simplicity, you bring elegance into it. The floors have been stripped and the linen closet has been upholstered. A lovely piece of cabinetry put in there with some accessorizing mirror and other pieces. On the walls we have some new drop fixtures for lighting, custom area carpeting in the hall. The area rugs are in the cream color with yellow, and those have been made specifically for this project. The walls have been done with a gradation of color, the primary color starting out with a yellow, taking a watercolor palette and just fading it out into a soft, just a tint of yellow to a white, but starting with strength at the base.
I did the young gentleman's bedroom, which was originally the master bedroom. And I wanted the feeling of British colonial because I pictured this as a young man who traveled a lot. It was a fantasy. When you're doing a showcase, it's a fantasy. It is what it is. It's a given. So we took the bed and obviously ran it out at the direction that we did. We also chose the very strong piece, the captain's chest. That was strong and that would bring your eye there. The windows are great. And then we just putting furniture around the perimeter, but jutting out in different directions to make it a little cozier. You go to your bedroom and you want it to be peaceful and tranquil and whatever, you need a break from all of it.
In the room there is existing vitrolite, which is a corian-like substance. It's about a ½ inch thick. And the tub surround is all vitrolite, including the ceiling. We wanted this bathroom to be a realistic use, realistic design, something that someone could walk into and use it tomorrow, not just to be a show place.
The sink has been restored, the marble top has been restored, we've replaced the fixtures, and the brass legs have been restored and cleaned up. The marble sink is very unusual, so We really wanted to keep that and retain the integrity of the house, of the room.
The gentleman's study, which is not a large room to begin with, and wanted to play off of the architectural interest of the room. The ceiling is quite spectacular. The key for me was to unify the room because the wall space is so narrow and so small, and the ceiling space was so massive, was to take wool plaid and put it throughout the entire room, in essence, to wrap the room in it, and that's how I brought the elements together. The story goes is that the gentleman that built the house early on came over in a boat, and this is some of the woodwork that represented a boat. I contrast that with a large overstuffed leather gentleman's chair with ottoman with the wood bun feet, very English in a feel and in character.
We've taken the bedroom with the intention of making it a sitting room bedroom. It's off the main staircase, and we've made it an area that a guest could feel comfortable, whether a man or a woman. We chose to pick up the dirtiest colors of the palette because the intention is to feel like you can just live in them for long periods of time. Above the chair rail, we're using very, very large striped wallpaper, and below it a pearl white with maybe 3 other whites modeled together in a sponged effect. On both ends of the room, we're using a neutral white on the sofa with this large green trim and a welt cord, and we used it on chairs on the opposite end of the room. The bed is in a natural. The sofa and chairs are in a natural. There's another small slipper chair in a natural. The intention is that all these neutrals are going to be interspersed amongst this rug and these curtains, which are the main feature of the room. Funnily enough, the dog bed fabric is the most expensive fabric in the room. Any self-respecting dog would love that fabric.
I call it the room without any architectural elements, so we're having to put the architectural elements in there. The focal point of the room is probably the library unit. That is just a beautiful piece of furniture. It is new. It looks like it could have been an antique. It's an eclectic feeling. We've got the glass top desk on an iron frame, a wicker chair, and a Tibetan area rug. So everything in there is really something different that this man would love. These are sort of his favorite pieces. And it all comes together and makes a very comfortable room for him.
I have created this space as functional as possible. We have designed a custom unit with space for her computer, also her printer, which will be a pull-out drawer, her books and whatnot up on the glass shelves that you can see through, and a lot of space to spread out with paperwork and everything. Then on the other side of her, at the library table, she will have her fax machine. The rug is 5 by 7, and it's custom designed in colors, matching the print that's on the window. You can create tone by the lighting in the room. That's why I have added the recessed lights. When people look in the doorway, my thoughts are they're just going to say, "Oh, isn't this pretty? It's so nice."
When we originally got the space, there was a very used sort of astroturf which had been there for years and very faded by the elements. And because the architecture is so traditionally English, that was an inspiration for our design.
The theme of it, the theme of our space will be a country garden, an English rooftop garden. And we borrowed our ideas from the existing materials. There's a multicolor slate on the roof. It's pitched so that it comes down to about 37 inches from the floor. And the roof is multicolored. I happen to like the English country print a lot, but I do like trompe-l'oeil, both on the floor and in the 37 inches from the floor to the slate roof. It appears as though it goes over the housetops.
When I came into the space, it was a very dark, confining, and narrow space. There's a lack of natural lighting, and therefore I'm relying on artificial light. So I opted to use one of the lightest colors in the palette, which is ivory white. Basically, that will give me maximum lighting reflection, open up the space even more. I have an eggshell finish on the walls, and I used a semi-gloss on all the wood trims. I wanted to do a drapery treatment, but I didn't want to do anything that would block out the light that I have in the area. A local artist did a trompe-l'oeil.
Initially, the space was quite inadequate for the size house that this is. Family living here would require entertainment areas, home cooking, and basically there is not even a stove in this kitchen. This was a tremendous project in that the walls and ceilings were totally tiled. The tile and the cabinets are a main grounding point. We chose to use just a buff colored tile with a very distinctive design on the splash so that it's very modular, and we could play around a lot with the little details, with the gold lining, with black, and then accent it with our seafoam green. And on top of that, with a wall treatment, we've sponged it and then overglazed it and then stenciled an acanthus leaf detail onto the soffit. We've connected the family room via the archway and suspended a glass counter for a bar area with 2 harlequin upholstered bar stools. The family room is merely carpeted and has velvet and damask and very soft, tactile, sensual materials, whereas the kitchen has limestone floor, green slate keys, and slick tile, but it is softened with swags and cascades in the windows that frame our diamond-shaped stained glass window that we added. I would say the focal point of the kitchen would be that it is a dressy area, but it's not intimidating. The black tie theme is focused onto a crystal chandelier that would be very unlikely in a kitchen setting. We have adequate venting and under-counter lighting. The chandelier dresses up the area and is set over the island itself.
It's a butler's pantry that we've turned into a wine pantry. The cabinetry in the room has been faux finished, meaning it has been antiqued to look old, warm, wonderful, given a leathery kind of finish in a burgundy color. The other wonderful feature is the countertop. It's done in a broken limestone with a granite bullnose.
We used a 3-dimensional tile treatment over the existing tile. It is in grape, leaf, and wine motif, and it is actually ceramic and then applied to the existing tile on the walls. An artist has done trompe-l'oeil of the wine country behind the desk area. When Sherry and I first did the walkthrough of the house, we noticed that the grape and leaf motif was throughout the house entirely.
We have used a number of elements in this dining room. Actually, the room has beautiful existing wood paneling that was installed in the house in the 20s when the house was built. We believe we've selected some very beautiful objects in the room as far as the accessories. Actually, there are 2 focal points. One is the window treatment, the window which actually is a seating area for 2 people. The main dining room table actually seats 8, but we wanted to add seating for 10 or 12 and have it be a very flexible room. The rug is a Persian rug, and it has a lot of very brilliant tones. It introduces some of the golds and the ochre tones.
My room is formerly the breakfast room. It is now called the morning room. I think because it's an informal dining area, I think you have to have a table and chairs, and you have to have some sort of storing place for the china. The window seat we have because of the architecture, but the criteria is a comfortable, casual English dining area. The blue and white porcelain is absolutely my favorite. I was really excited to be able to use that in a room like this. It's a very English house, and I thought that the export china would be something that could really add a lot of fun and life to the room.
We have taken this transitional space, it's something we'd like to call a conservatory, and it's an indoor-outdoor space in that it's not either or, but it's transitional. So we wanted something that was fantasy and colorful and leaned in this direction of chinoise and black lacquer to mix in with the English and Gothic arches. Chinoise is an English term, and it means in the style of Chinese. These are chinoise screens that we designed and created particularly for this space. The ceiling has been hand-painted to resemble clouds, but it's clouds that would be late in the afternoon towards sunset. The largest problem was to furnish the space, to make it so that it would be comfortable to move around in and also to sit in, to create areas that would condone conversations.
The focal point of the area is it has a statue that is in bronze of a little girl, and down low on either side of this fountain there are ponds, and the ponds have bubblers in them. They are lit from the trees, which causes a very pretty effect in the evening.
There's not a commercial name. We in the industry just refer to it as an acid-stained concrete. And what we do is simply apply the stain to the concrete.
This is a wonderful place to entertain. It's also a focal point in the whole house. It can be seen from the entry as you walk in the front door.
The focal point of the room is definitely the fireplace. It's very beautiful and very elegant. The ancestral feeling of the room comes from the medallions in the fireplace. We wanted one central seating group to take advantage of the fireplace. There's a lovely lacquer cabinet. There are two beautiful console tables, a pair of mirrors at the end where the French doors go to the loggia. In a lot of traditional English interiors, they use a lot of portraits. We're fortunate enough to be using 3 beautiful oil paintings to give it that ancestral feeling. One of them used to be part of the LA County Art Museum's collection.
The focal point of the powder room is a beautiful 48-inch wide porcelain pedestal sink that fits the room very well. And above that we have a large gold leaf mirror. We loved the character of the room. We also very much wanted to show that a powder room in a 1920s home could be done with that feeling in mind instead of doing 1990s style decorating in a room like that.
So by striping the dressing area and having the powder room itself as a solid, we felt one's eye would lead from the lighter room into the darker solid. We felt that it was something we were able to work with and that we were able to really successfully pull off with a few elements. We wanted it to have a dramatic effect, almost sort of a film noir effect.
The inspiration for this room is the colors in the leaded glass. Beautiful primary colors in coat of arms or a crest in the windows that told me that was the way to go. If I had to pick a favorite item in the room, I would say probably the desk or the secretary that's in the window. It's a very fine piece, probably the nicest piece of wood furniture in there. Very eye-catching, and it's got a tooled leather top. Bookcases are hard to do because they're voids. I'm most pleased with the Bierstein collection and the antique pipe collection and the Trowbridge art, which is really good quality antique art from England.
The favorite aspect of the room, to me, I feel, is color, because color is, when it's used right, it can create an environment that, you know, is very eye-catching and comfortable. The sofa is a custom piece. It's leather, tufted, nail head trim on it. The sofa table is behind the red leather sofa, and the floral fabric used on the windows connects the windows to the furnishings.
The theme is established by the existing flagstone paving on that terrace, which is a unifying element in that whole area. The area will be visible from 3 or 4 vantage points. You'll be looking down on this terrace from that loggia, and you will see in the center of the terrace an antique terracotta wishing well fountain. There will be a farm cart there, an old antique farm cart. I'm going to be coordinating with the interior designer who is handling this, the game room, which is immediately adjacent to this space through the French doors.
We're on a decomposed granite hillside. The pad of the house was originally cut into the hillside, and so we've got basically a decomposed granite base. And in the 60 or so years that this house has been here, it has developed a topsoil loam due to the leaf litter, root intrusion into the soil, insect aeration. That's developed a nice topsoil layer. The topiary, I think, was the most difficult to accommodate. It's a unique piece of plant material you don't see in every household.
We're going to have to find a place where people are going to be able to go through and stop. Arbor came from the French word herbaire, and it is basically a structure to hold herbs, which back then herbs meant plants and everything else. I put 2 climbing roses on it that are going to eventually wrap around it. I put some antique roses, the David Austin series, which are kind of popular now, and a lot of perennials, a lot of colors to bring your eye into the arbor. This is a bench arbor, so you're going to walk into it and then sit down and look out.
In the side yard garden, the Arroyo garden, we will cut and eliminate some soil and remove it. There will be approximately 15 boulders, and they will be about from 2 to 3 feet in length and about 2 feet in height. The boulders are from Colorado. They're not quarried. They are actually sitting in the open.
And in the Arroyo garden, of course, everything should be a background to that Arroyo bridge of the Arroyo area there, because that bridge is very, very famous. The statue is concrete. It's a very regal statue.
The area is full of all kinds of hidden treasures underneath. There's some tanks and a whole lot of different types of pipes, which nobody knows where they go to. The whole area out there is very unpredictable of what we could do with it as far as planting in ground. The area is hardscaped, a lot of different types of containers around with unusual flowers and unusual trees, because I always like to bring in plant material that isn't very common. As far as the flowers, there's different varieties of perennial flowers, and a lot of those come from Australia. A lot of the trees come from up north, Oregon and Washington. There is a gazebo which they can perform the wedding vows, and the aviary is in the same design as the gazebo. And I like to put aviaries in different jobs, bringing nature into the exterior like that.
I wanted to do a garden called Pretty in Pink with just lots of pink flowers, and as I was getting my presentation board ready, I did some research and looked in art books, and I found this painting by Fragonard called The Swing. And I thought, oh, wonderful. It's based on in the 18th century, and the aristocracy was all bored, and they wanted to have fun like the peasants. Simple, inexpensive things like going for boat rides or in a swing. On this side, I have a row of low-growing shrub roses to enter the garden. I have some balcony geraniums that are draping down on the wall. On the other entry side, I have some blue delphiniums for height. I have a mandevilla vine up on the side of a house that covers the brick. Along the pathway, I have flagstones, and I have some larkspur. I have pink roses on the other side to mark the entry.
Mrs. Atkin, wife of the original owner, had this space constructed in 1929 to house her personal Duesenberg. Today, it remains a personal space.
What we're trying to achieve with the space is to create a very intimate space that you could go and escape from the grandiosity of the main house. The brick walls we left intact because we liked the texture, and the floors in it, because it was a garage, are just concrete. And we've painted the floors to look like a stone, and we covered part of it for warmth with a Persian antique rug. Most of the pieces of furniture in here are antiques or new pieces that look vintage. This shows how we can transform the garage into this wonderful retreat. The original garage door was replaced with the French doors.
During the 17th and 18th centuries, it was a period of time called the Age of Reason. All human conflicts and problems could be solved with the application of reason. In art and architecture, there was a return to geometric forms and rational ways of organizing space. And this was reflected also in garden design. The garden layout is called the sundial, and the idea of the sundial garden is that you can create discrete planting areas. In this particular layout, you can create 8 distinct design areas. It's a quartered circle described with a square and oriented north and south. The shadows create a timepiece. If you could look at a shadow and say, oh, it's 2 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. The scarecrow is a necessary part of this kind of a garden because you need a central figure. The interior pickets also flourish toward the center and accent the scarecrow.
My impression of the area was that it could be kept somewhat informal. The concept of this garden was to create an English bramble garden, and in doing so we wanted to keep it in a kind of woodsy, informal look. The pathway was designed to be entered from the top portion of the garden, flowing behind the planter beds, bisecting a large ground cover area and lawn area where we could most enjoy and look out at the planter beds and get the overall visual effect of the entire area, taking in as much as possible the sights and the sounds in the garden.
Commanding the entrance to the property is the traditional gatehouse.
What would remain would be the liquid ambers across the front, several large hedges on either side of the archway, and the bougainvilleas that are on the walls.
There's a lot of big specimen things on the grounds. I'm sure that a lot of it has been left from the original landscaping.
Working in a space like this, the main consideration would be the aesthetics, as it's an area that's not being used by anyone for any purpose, mainly a drive-by area. It's a semi-formal design featuring 4 pots across the front of the driveway. They're up on pedestals, surrounded by rocks, ground covers, small ground plants, verbenas, dianthus, and daisy-like flowers. An obelisk that is approximately 7 feet tall, patinaed to look like oxidized copper, will accommodate some wind chimes.
The problems for me in the room turned into most of the architecture. Part of the floor was boarded up and must have been a pit for changing oil when it was originally a garage. So instead of trying to cover it up, I have made use of the pit to create kind of a Zen garden. This was again an instance where everything just fell into place. It was the most effortless job that I've ever worked on, and I've only really designed the TV unit where in most cases I would have custom designed every piece in the room.
I first liked that bedroom because it was a cozy area and it had charming windows and nice architecture and hardwood floors. We named it Megan's Chamber after the fabric. The fabric is called Megan.
We wanted to create a retreat for a 14-year-old girl where she could go study, be Megan. The daybed is burlap textured fabric. The inside of the daybed is done with a combination of antique pillows and print pillows. The chair is a very streamlined classical chair. It has a touch of the 90s. It's not an antique feeling chair.
I'm doing the bathroom in the gatehouse. Space was just 2 small bathrooms, very unkept. They were, I think, not touched for maybe 25, 30 years. I removed 1 major wall, took out the 2 toilets, stayed, of course, with 1 toilet, added a bathtub, and created the shower, and did all marble floor, and lots of wood, wall glazing on the walls, make it look a little old and a little rich, fabric drapery treatments with tapestry, bring in a very rich English feeling to the home, more estate-like.
The heavy slate roof came down so low over the doorway that it gave me the feeling of an English cottage, very small and intimate space. It's 10 by 14. It's a rug, not a room. A skirted table would serve as a nightstand for the daybed, since it is a guest room. The table and chairs are made in England. They are handmade Windsor chairs. I think the focal point of the room probably is the very large 6-foot overscale painting The rug is a handmade braided rug. It's made in Kentucky, exactly the same way they were made in the 18th century. I found that this was a perfect spot to do 3 paintings and then tie them all together with a ribbon of the same fabric used for the draperies.
We see a very contemporary area, designed with the family in mind as well as a couple.
What we did is we took, you can take any space in a yard or off the side of the house, and tented it. All the furniture is slip covered so you can take it off, easy removal, throw it in the wash machine. It's very practical. Everything is upholstered underneath in just a neutral, natural denim fabric, and then over top, washable chenilles, washable silks, washable denim.
Dangerous liaisons. Actually, I don't know how we came up with that particular theme, but I think we thought of it as something fun. And decorating should really be fun as well as practical as well as glamorous.
It's pretty, it's romantic, like an oasis. It's very comfortable with a lot of exotic flowers and palms.
I think that as an ongoing effort, the owners of an estate like this would probably want to put their effort and their color and their design more closely around the house. At the very entrance of the driveway, as you're driving in and you're driving out, you want to have some beautification there, some color. That's very, very important because people do come and go through that gate.
The Pasadena Showcase House of Design is organized and sponsored by the Pasadena Junior Philharmonic Committee. Benefit Chairman, Mona Maple.
Showcase is wonderfully successful. It started 31 years ago, and every year we're amazed it just keeps growing. Showcase fundraises specifically for a youth music program in the San Gabriel Valley. It starts in the 3rd grade. We bring a music mobile and let the children play the instruments. In the 4th grade, the LA Philharmonic comes to Pasadena and plays for 6,000 children, and it's a very special concert. On the older level, starting with ages 16 to 23, we have an instrumental competition, and those are the more professionally oriented children who are already well-versed in their instrument and probably are going to make that their life's work. We benefit the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra, and we donate to them quite healthily. Over the years, we have donated over $5 million to the Los Angeles Philharmonic.
Our showcase home will now open to the general public for a month. Following that period, the designers will have a week to remove all but the wallpaper and the paint, unless the owner exercises an option to purchase certain predetermined items. During the open house period, some 40,000 people will visit the Pasadena home. For more information regarding Showcase Homes, write Showcase Home, HGTV, Post Office Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee 37950.
HGTV is a gift. It's wonderful.
For great information on our great programs, write for your free HGTV program guide, P.O. Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee 37950. This year,